at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Presentation of the 1995 Sports Care of Louisiana Coaches Awards. Representing Sports Care at midfield, Sports Care Representative Mike McKeough and Keith Patterson. The first award, the 1995 Sports Care Award, presented by Mike McKeough, goes to Cecilia head coach Jimmy Wagerspack. The next 1995 Sports Care Coaches Award, presented by Keith Patterson of Sports Care of Louisiana, goes to Edna Karr head coach John Waddingney. The Louisiana High School Athletic Association thanks Sports Care of Louisiana for providing the 1995 Sports Care Coaches Award.
From the Louisiana Superdome for the Class 3A state championship between the undefeated Carr Cougars, ranked number 1 in the state of Louisiana, and the undefeated Cecilia Bulldogs, ranked number 2 in the state of Louisiana. It's LHSAA football here in the Superdome. Hello once again, everybody. I'm Gerald Duhon along with Renee Nato, and tonight we bring you a stellar matchup that's a rematch of a ball game that was played on this turf just 2 short years ago, ended in an overtime victory. Cecilia hoping to avenge for that loss tonight, Renee, and they've got some of the talent to do it.
Yeah, you got two teams that are undefeated at 14-0. You got a couple of players you may want to watch for. Corey Jackson, number 24, versus Cecilia. He plays offense and defense. He's good enough to make all district on offense and defense. You'll see a lot of number 24 this evening.
For the Carr Cougars, excellence has been their program thus far. Only in the 4th year of varsity play. This is their 2nd trip to the state finals, and really it's a first-year player playing only his 1st year of organized football, and that's Noel Ellis. He's one of the keys both offensively and defense for Carr.
Yes, he was a basketball player prior to the 1995 season. He's got 14 interceptions on the season, so he's quite a talent. He's going to make a lot of visits. He's going to make someone an excellent safety on the next level on Saturday evening.
Well, this is how they draw it up. 1 against 2. You vote them like that during the regular season. They're almost ready to get underway. It'll be Don Watney against James Wagerspack. It'll be Carr against Cecilia here from the Louisiana Superdome for the AAA state championship for the state of Louisiana. A fine crowd on hand has made the trip down from Acadiana and St. Martinville and the surrounding areas around Cecilia, right on the outskirts of the Lafayette area. And I might as well say on the front end, Renee, yes, my family is from the Lafayette area. No one in the New Orleans area can say Duhon, so we say Duhon here, so I know I'm pronouncing it incorrectly for those of you in the Cecilia area, but we'll go with Duhon here in New Orleans today. And Carr will receive the opening kickoff from Cecilia to start tonight's action. Carr dressed in their white jerseys with purple pants, purple numbers, and gold helmets with the purple Cougar claw on it for the Cecilia Bulldogs. Gold helmets with the green numerals on the helmet, green jerseys, green trousers, and white numerals. And we are almost ready to get underway. Chris Broussard set to kick off this AAA state championship game. Jerry Phillips is deep for the Carr Cougars. And we are underway. A high end-over-end kick that Phillips will gather in at his own 10. He's got a nice wall in front of him. Makes the move at the 30. Dances out of one tackle. Look at him motor almost up to the 40-yard line. The Cougars will be in excellent shape. They put in play 1st and 10. Their first offensive possession here this evening.
And Phillips is a guy.
The Cecilia offense is on the bench right now, getting ready to come out. The Carr offense is on the field. We'll check their starting lineup in just a moment as Carr will put it in play 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. Edward Sims is his quarterback, the senior, 6'2", 185. Single wide receiver on the left, single on the right, split backfield behind Sims. And off to the right back through. That was Corey Harrison, who's primarily used in the short yardage situation for the Carr Cougars. He's dropped for a 2-yard loss. It'll be 2nd down and 12. Credit Cornell Davis for that bone-crushing tackle.
Hey, Cornell Davis is the guy you got to watch out for. He's a junior, 6'2", 225. An all-district performer. He's that pass rush specialist, 4.8 speed. You see a lot of number 40 before this evening's over.
2nd and 12. Double tight end formation. Sims wants to pass, tosses the ball. It's complete. His first completion of the AAA state championship game, rolling all the way down to the 40-yard line of Cecilia. A 21-yard pickup. Good enough for a 1st down.
And that was Robert Royal. Robert Royal was a receiver.
Let's check that Carr offensive board. Henry Brady's your tight end. Remo Washington, Bernard Robertson, Reuben Johnson, Marcus Livingston, Jeff Roach. Your offensive line. Joe Walker, Don Brewer, Edward Sims, Corey Gibbons, and Leonard Welch, the running back. Double tight end formation again for Carr. Running formation. Sims keeps it on the option. He'll turn towards upfield on the far sideline, stay in bounds, and turn out a quick 5 before Jerome Wilkes, the middle inside linebacker for the Cecilia Bulldogs, makes the stop.
We look at Sims right there. Sims is quite an athlete. He can run a pass. He takes control. He's really taking control of the playoffs. Excellent reads. His 2nd year as a starter. He's a little better on the run than he is on the pass, but what a talent he is. Ed Sims, a 6'2", 190-pound senior. He has the ability to probably play at the next level.
Quick count, quick snap, quick handoff. Going right into the line is Corey Harrison. We see a lot of action with him tonight. Leonard Welch, your normal starting halfback, is battling an ankle injury. Let's check the Cecilia defense. Cornell Davis, John Baptiste, Ernest Broussard, and Theo Singleton across the front line. Corey Green, Jerome Wilkes, one of their outstanding linebackers. Dewanus Richard, Chris Broussard, and Andre Chance. Israel Singleton and Corey Jackson rounding out your secondary for the 14-0 Cecilia Bulldogs. 3rd down and 4. Flags stop this play before it can get underway. And we'll read it.
Looks like Henry Brady, the blocking tight end, may have jumped prematurely. He's the blocking tight end. Robert Royal caught the first pass. Is the receiving tight end. It goes against the Carr Cougars, and they will step it off 5 yards in their first penalty of the contest.
Ball start on the white.
That'll set up a 3rd down and 9 for the Carr offense. We're moving with the opening possession of this ball game for this AAA state championship. A rematch of the 1993 state championship. Sims keeps the ball on the option, eludes one tackle, but not the second pounding tackle of Jerome Wilson. Corey Green, the strong side and middle linebacker, coming in to make that hit. And it'll be 4th down around the 37-yard line. They'll be well short of a 1st down. Flag on the far side. We'll read it.
And Sims with 401 yards rushing. He tries to turn it up, and he's turned back by Green and Wiltz. Stopped for a very short game, but it's a question on the play.
The call will be against the Karr Cougars.
Good look at Coach Don Watney. He's done an outstanding job. He's working on a second state championship in 3 years.
Coach Don, 49-9 in his 4-year tenure.
Personal foul on the right, 4th down.
49-9 in his 4 years as a varsity coach at Karr. Of course, this program, much success in the New Orleans area on a junior high level. Now they've equated that success to their varsity program. You heard the call, and it's a personal foul. It forced Karr into a punting situation. Low snap. The Karr punter, Jason Helmstetter, has to rush the ball. It'll bound around the 35-yard line.
Not a good kick.
A 15-yard punt by Helmstetter, and Renee, you can see the pressure, a low snap, and he just barely gets it off.
Yeah, he dropped the ball. He's lucky he got it off at all. The pressure was there. And puts Cecilia in a good situation as they start the initial possession of this AAA championship here, the nightcap. And the doubleheader here, the receiving.
Rusty Bayrard bringing his offense beneath center, handoff, surging his way through his fullback Jermaine Davis across the 40, up to the 41, up to the 42. Before he's finally stopped right there.
Jermaine Davis, he's that fullback. He's got 823 yards on the season, 10 of them going for scores, 173 carries, 10 of them going for scores. The average is 4.7 yards a tote. He's a blocker, but he gets the tough yards, which he just showed. He can get that tough running inside.
Pitt, Dupree, Chevalier, Landry, Green, and Alamo. Your offensive line for Cecilia. Bayrard on second down. Hits the ball is loose. Back at the 30. Man scrambled for it. Let's see who comes up with it. Cecilia. Bayrard blindsided as he dropped back into the pocket. And that's the Karr defense we'll be talking about all night long. That's the tough part of this unit. They pride themselves on their D, averaging 6 points given up per game so far in this 1995 campaign. Big loss on the play. It'll be 3rd down and long. Wow.
And he was really hit from the blind side. As you can see, that was Jimmy Ferguson coming from the outside linebacker position, 4.7 speed, and boy, he really put the hat on the quarterback, Rusty Bayrard.
3rd and 17 officially. Double wide out to right-hand side. Bayrard will look that way. Drops. Throws over the middle, intercepted by Jerry Phillips. Right around midfield, he dances out of one tackle. Down to the 45, far sideline. One man to beat, he may go. Turns it inside. Look at him turn his way for the end zone, and it's a Karr touchdown. Jerry Phillips in the defense. A 53-yard interception return for a touchdown, and they're partying in Algiers here early in the Louisiana Superdome.
Jerry Phillips called by many the best athlete on the team, loaded with good athletes. In fact, this Karr defense, or this Karr team, has 10 college prospect seniors. Jerry Phillips with 4.5 speed picks off a pass. Bayrard drops back, and Phillips just red his eyes, steps right, throws overthrow actually, but he gets some good blocks, gets some help. Watch a good block coming right here. That was Shannon Smith laying a good block for him, and Jerry Phillips knows what to do with the ball tucked under his arm. He plays offense on occasion, and Phillips, with good moves in the open field into the end zone, puts the Karr Cougars on. So it looks like this could be coming back now with as Laundry is on the field.
Not his laundry, huh?
Well, it's someone as a handkerchief.
Handkerchief on the field. Potential illegal block, which would negate an exciting offensive explosion. And Phillips, an outstanding recruit all season long, but believe it or not, he's only got one interception. That was only his second for the 1995 season.
On the run back, personal foul, flipping against the right, 1st down.
That's Buddy Gingras, our referee tonight. David Boudreau, our umpire. Paul Parsons, our linesman. Frank White, the line judge. Reginald Dubrock, the field judge. Gerald Lemoyne, the back judge, Thomas Wilson, your clock operator. The crew hails out of the Alexandria area. So, Carl will put it in play, 1st and 10 at the Cecilia 44-yard line. Their second possession here with 6:59 left in the first quarter. No score in this AAA state championship game. Counter play, left-hand side. Corey Gibbons, John Baptiste making the stop.
Gibbons is quite a weapon. You got the call defense. Ruff and Johnson, Casby and Watkins. He's a good outside end. We got the offense on the field right now, but what a defense Carr has. Really wreaked havoc on opposing offenses.
They're good enough to take a second look at. Hand off on a play that just does not develop. Part of the reason is that there's a flag out on the play. Con Watney wants an explanation.
It's auto at KD, ground level.
Illegal procedure against Carr. And that'll push him back on 2nd down.
Ball start, White, still 2nd down.
Carr's had some penalty problems early going here against Cecilia. Cecilia is a team with a very potent offense, can take advantage, so Carr needs to cut back on their miscues, and Cecilia, they've done a good job on defense thus far.
2nd and long. Sims pitches the ball out. Gibbons met, dropped back up to the original line of scrimmage. We'll call it third down and 11. Corey Green, the all-district linebacker, playing that strong side, flying through and making the stop.
Carr with 5 penalties thus far for 40 yards has really shot themselves in the foot with 5 minutes and 50 seconds remaining here in the first period. You see Sims pitching outside here to Corey Gibbons as he tries to skirt along the outside. He's stopped by Corey Green, and that defense is just skating along the line of scrimmage and stopping everything from going wide.
Sims stumbles as he pulls the snap down, tosses the ball downfield. Excellent defensive play. Robert Royal was the intended receiver. Chris Broussard right there applying the excellent coverage downfield.
And Broussard with that 6'2" frame really stretches out. He's a junior, 4'6" speed, an all-district cornerback, playing that weak cornerback, and he was right on target here. Just an excellent defensive play by Chris Broussard, intended for the tight end.
Credit Ernest Broussard, Renee, the senior right defensive tackle, with an excellent pressure of Edward Sims. And it'll be 4th down and 11 into the ball game. We'll check Jason Helmstetter, an outstanding punter for the Carr Cougars. Last time he was hurried and affected by a poor snap. This time he'll have a better effort. A high kick that'll come down to the 9-yard line to Charles Hathaway. He'll make it up to the 18, and Cecilia will clear the play. 1st and 10. We've got 2 defensive giants matching up here. A 36-yard kick and a 10-yard return.
You may see in the back of all the helmets of Cecilia, number 15. That is, the season is dedicated to Jenahiah Johnson. Jenahiah Jones, I should say, who's a player for Cecilia that was injured in an automobile accident. He is presently in a coma. The team and followers have been praying for Jed Jones, and they have dedicated this game of the season to him.
Handoff on 1st and 10. Not much running room at all, and stiffly met. Corey Jackson falls into the grasp of number 41, Dwayne Lewis. With 5 minutes left in the first quarter, and we're scoreless here. Each team has had 2 possessions.
And watch Noel Ellis unload right here, number 44, as he's dancing, bang, right here, and he's going in a different direction. Noel Ellis is probably one of the best athletes on this team. Basketball player, you talked about him before the game. He will be some fine defensive back in college.
Handoff, skirting his way through. The fullback, Davis, will pick up the 1st down. Take it up to the 34-yard line. The chains will move. Noel Ellis once again applying the brace. When you talk about Noel, Renee Noel, in his first season of playing football, an outstanding player in basketball, and really for Coach Don Watney, he had an unknown commodity when this boy came out this year.
You see Jermaine Davis right there. He's a battler. He's a grunt, right? He gets the tough yards between the tackle, and he compliments Corey Jackson.
Baylor tossing the ball in the flat, well overshooted his intended receiver, Chad Dartez, the all-district split end. In case you're wondering, no, there is no relation between Chad D'Artes and Jamaican D'Artes, the outstanding tailback for Cecilia.
Well, he's a cousin of Jamaican D'Artes. And you may remember Craig D'Artes. Craig D'Artes played for LSU as his brother.
Second and 10, Bayrard looking deep down the field for D'Artes, overthrown, well covered on the play by Dwayne Lewis, who is in for Rasheed Johnson, the normal starting quarterback. He was injured on the last play. He came in tonight with a knee injury and was questionable for tonight's contest. Obviously out there early in the ball game, and he had to take a spell and a blow on the sidelines as Lewis comes in for him, and Lewis covering on that play D'Artes very well as he went down the field. Could be third down and 10 for Cecilia.
You see, Bayrard's got an arm. He airs it out. He's got over 1,100 yards on the season passing, 15 touchdowns. He's a baseball pitcher. We'll talk more about number 2 in just a moment.
Slot right. Motion from the wide receiver. This play may come back for Cecilia. Bayrard will keep it, roll it around the right-hand side, and big skip as he goes out of bounds. I mean, he was hit. He was absolutely crushed by Lance Groins, the outside linebacker.
He hears bells, believe me, right now. He's not sure where he is. That was quite a hit. Not only did he take a tremendous hit from Lance Groins, but that ground doesn't give very much. You can see coming up right here, number 95 is focusing on him. He knows he's going to unload on him just momentarily. Right near the sidelines, right there. Now, he was still in. But evidently, in the official's opinion, he was heading for the sideline.
Well, Corey Jackson was looking downfield for the ball. If he was able to turn around, he might have been able to throw a block and deflect that throw, but he was looking for the ball to be thrown. Bayrard deciding to hold on to it, and probably the worst thing about this is that one of the receivers on the near sideline looked to be offsides, and he was, and Karr will be called for a personal foul on that play. So we've got offsides against Cecilia, which seemed to make the play for naught, and Karr will be called for a personal foul, which I'm guess would be leading with the headgear, using the crown of the helmet. Let's take another look at it.
That's what he hit him for, using the crown right there to the neck. That's what he hit him the penalty for, not hitting him out of bounds. He used the crown of the helmet, as you just mentioned.
That's what they're finding folks for in the NFL these days.
Well, that was quite a hit. And Lance Goings.
Illegal procedure on green, 5, third down.
Buddy Jean-Gros and the confusion on the field for us. Now they'll mark off the personal foul.
Here's Cecilia. Had some athletes come through here. You talk about Jamaican D'Artes. Here's a fellow named Anthony Clement, who's a starting tackle for USF, 6'7", 335 pounds. There's a Nathan Perry plays for LSU as a guard, and Brian Sonia is played for Cecilia. He's a backup quarterback for USF. He'll probably be filling in when they need an extra quarterback, but he's being groomed as the next quarterback at USF.
Brian, the quarterback that took Cecilia here the last time they were in the dome.
Exactly right.
Against the Cougars. Okay, first and 10 for Cecilia. Counter, Jackson, open field. He slips as he tries to make his cut, but he will pick up the first down and make it down to the 45-yard line. And Jackson's very slow to get up as he slipped on the artificial turf trying to make a cut.
Looks like a stomach or injury to his chest or stomach or ribs, perhaps. He may have pulled his stomach muscle, perhaps, but I tell you that turf will grab you at times if you're not used to running on it. He twisted his ankle, it looks like. Well, I'll tell you what a painful injury that might be. Because Corey Jackson is one of the primary foot soldiers for Cecilia.
They appear to be administering to his upper body as he lays right around the 45-yard line. It's 0-0 here at the Superdome. AAA state final, 3:50 left in the first quarter. We'll take this time out.
National studies show that students who participate in high school activities, like music, sports, and drama, not only have better grades and attendance, they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over.
Corey Jackson comes off the field under his own power, holding what appears to be his right arm in the break. The crowd chanting, Corey, Corey, Corey. He's been the main cog in this Bulldog offense, this successful 1995 campaign.
He shared the spotlight with Jamaican Dortez in 1994, and in some ways he's a little different. He's a speed guy, straight-up guy, but he's got 4.4 speed. Very similar to Jamaican Dortez. He's an all-district player this year, but he compares very favorably to Jamaican Dortez. Wow, at the two-lane greenway.
First and 10 after the Jackson run. Onto the 46-yard line of Karr. And off first back through, banging his fullback Jermaine Davis, the senior battering ram mate of Corey Jackson. He'll gain 3. Second and 7.
The defensive front for Cecilia. That's Vitt, Dupree, Landry, Green, and Alamon. Alamon, a 6'1", 295-pounder. He's your left tackle, number 78 bench press. He's 240 pounds. He's a third-year starter, so they run his way when they need the tough yards.
Counter going the other way is Jonah Williams. No, check that. Play action pass down the middle, incomplete to Jermaine Davis, the fullback. What an outstanding play action pass to fullback Rusty Baylord. Fooled me. Lance Goins finally makes the stop, a gain of 18 as Davis motors down the field and pulls in that pass from Baylord.
Well, Baylord's got good touch on the ball. He reminds me a little bit in his style to a Jamie Howard. And Baylord, we said, has a baseball background as a pitcher. He hit over 300 as a baseball player, so he may have a future in baseball or football.
2:51 left in the first quarter. Let's take this time out.
When your team is on the field, our medics will be there, just in case. Every weekend, we'll be standing by at 100 high school and college football games. Acadian Ambulance and Air Med Services, looking after the ones you love.
As an employee-owned company, every day we are acquiring ownership in Acadian Ambulance. And every day we work harder to make the service even better.
We all try to do more than the job requires.
Because it's our company and our community. And we want to give our best to both.
We're grateful for the opportunities to serve.
And for the acceptance the people we serve have given us.
Teaching community services is a big part of our business. We appreciate you entrusting your family to ours.
Cecilia trying to puncture the end zone on first and 10. Jerome Wilkes with the call. Corey Jackson is still on the sidelines for Cecilia, nursing what appears to be a right elbow injury, applying some ice to the area. He's now standing a little bit closer on the sidelines to Coach Waggis back and he'll be coming into the ball game momentarily.
Happy fans here watching this game. Coach Wayne Hardy got a shot of him a second ago. He's done a great job with his hard defense. allowing just 5 points per game defensively. They're an outstanding season they've had.
Bayrard, deep drop, will roll out of the pocket. Toss the ball down the field and incomplete. Hard players are shaken up. Lying down on the turf.
I'm not sure who it is, but Bayrard rolling left, making a difficult throw.
Let's take this injury timeout here at the Dome. We're scoreless in the AAA state championship.
You ever hear anyone talk about life like you gotta chew it up and spit it out? You gotta want it so bad you can taste it. You gotta be hungry. If so, Gatorade has one question for you. You want something to drink with that? Because you're gonna be thirsty. Life is a sport. Drink it up.
So what's it going to be, Dion? Football or baseball?
Both, boss.
Both? Both. Offense or defense?
Both.
Both? Both. Both. Both.
Pizza Hut.
Meat lovers or stuffed crust pizza? Both. Both. Both.
Want it all? Now Pizza Hut offers our lovers line toppings. Meat lovers, pepperoni lovers, or supreme. Piled high in a stuffed crust pizza.
So what would it be, Dion? 15, 20 million?
Both. Both. You'll love the stuff we're made of.
David Watkins coming out of the game very gingerly for Carr there right in. He's their leading tackler. It'd be a big loss if he's not able to come back. On 3rd and 10, Bayrard drops the back and tosses the ball incomplete for Dartes, his intended receiver. Dwayne Lewis down there on the coverage.
And Chad Dartes, we talked about him. He's the cousin of Jamaican Dartes. His brother Craig Dartes played for LSU in the early 80s. He played for Cecilia in the early 80s, played with LSU in the mid-80s. But good football family, Chad, a 4'7" guy. There's Barrard, a good look at Barrard. And he makes some good decisions, dropping back. Good form right here. Holds the ball up, fires and loads right here. Good spiral, good delivery on his passes.
Andy Chance will attempt a 43-yard field goal. Good snap, and kick is off and to the side. No good, in and out of the end zone. Of course, in high school, a field goal attempt is just like a punt. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Carr Cougars from their own 20. With 1:55 left in the first quarter, we're fought to a scoreless tie here in the Superdome.
1:55 left here, and this has been everything it's built to be. Cecilia and Carr, two teams with stout defenses, don't give up many points. In fact, Cecilia's given up 12 points a game to their opponent, Carr, with a minor 5 points per outing to their opponents to the 1995 season, including the playoffs. And they led every team in the playoffs with 6 shutouts throughout the entire season. And one team they shut out in the playoffs, so they've got a pretty potent defense.
Sims has a full house backfield behind him. Handoff, Givens, near side. They get across the 25 up to the 26. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
You know, Givens is quite a story here. He's only 5'6", 155 pounds. You can see he's tough to bring down in his cross handoff here. Breaks one tackle right here and keeps on going. Broke the tackle by Wiltz. He's not an easy guy to bring down. He scored 5 touchdowns against Faraday in the semifinals, so he plays good in the big games.
2nd and short. Back split. Pitch out. Givens, right side. He'll lead one tackle, make it out of the backfield, and pick up some positive yards. Great second effort by Corey Givens. Andy Chance finally hauls him down, but he was caught in the backfield before he finally got outside, and another Carr player is slow to get up.
And that looks like, in fact, you can see Chris Broussard turned it inside. He played contain, and he did not allow Corey Givens to get outside wide, but another injury for the Carr Cougars.
Halfback Corey Harrison slow to get up. They'll take the injury timeout and come back. Scoreless contest here at the Superdome.
no place, a wide open range where the spirit's free to roam. When Dixie How's away on the west, when Dixie.
Harrison getting up slowly and coming out of the ball game. Of course, Leonard Welsh has been hobbled by an ankle injury. Now Harrison going out very slowly on the far sidelines. Limping. We may see John Brown into the ball game, one of the third halfbacks. It's a good shot of Harrison coming off to the far side. And Carl will employ a full house backfield on third and short from their own 29. Givens is your deep back. Double tight end. Givens gets the call. Surges forward. I do not think he made it.
And you can credit Theo Singleton for making that outstanding defensive play. He was shooting as the ball was snapped. The sophomore really disrupted the momentum of that play and perhaps prevented a first down.
And it will be fourth down. No gain on that last play, so 4th and 10, and out once again will trot Jason Helmstetter for his third punt of the state championship game. Helmstetter will set up camp at his own 16-yard line. Hackworth back at his 35. Clean snap. Nice punt by Helmstetter. High, soft, spiraling kick that Hackworth will call for and execute a fair catch at his own 41. A 30-yard kick. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs with 10 seconds left in the first quarter.
We're scoreless. They are getting instructions from the coaching staff of Cecilia. Coach Wagaspack and company, and prepare for an opportunity as the first quarter winds down. Here's some of the faithful here for the Karr Cougars. Of course, there's 3 more games in action on tap for tomorrow. Karr Cougars with 2 injuries to Watkins and Corey Harrison thus far early in the game.
1st and 10 for Cecilia. Handoff, pounding on the left-hand side is Jermaine Davis. Pickup of 1, maybe 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
The thing that Cecilia was most concerned about was getting off to a good start, and it's been a 0-0 game thus far.
That's the end of the first quarter, and we are scoreless here at the Superdome. We'll play 12 minutes with 36 yet to come for this AAA state championship game. Back right after this.
Avita Springs Water, your local bottled water company, is proud to offer the Home Team Special. Become a new Avita Springs customer and get your first 10 5-gallon bottles at half price. More quality, more service, more for less. More reasons to switch to the Home Team. Avita Springs Water, more water per gallon.
David Watkins, the leading tackler for the Karr Cougars, the right end, still seated on the bench on the far sidelines, removing his sock and checking out his right ankle.
Thus far in the first quarter, Cecilia with 32 yards rushing, Karr with 21 passing, 39 yards for Cecilia, 42 for Karr.
Pitch out, Jackson, near side, kicking his holes, waiting for his blocks, and he pushed out short of the 50 around the 48-yard line. It'll be 3rd down. And, you know, Renee, the difference right now in this ball game is Jerry Phillips' interception return called back. He scored it, but Karr called for an illegal block.
Yeah, this is a game of opportunity, and you have to make the most of the opportunities, and that was one of those chances that Karr let slip away with an illegal block that was called back. But there'll be more opportunities for both of these schools before it's all done here this evening.
3rd and 4 for Cecilia. Backs in an eye. 3-step drop. Tosses the ball for Darches. He receives it. Picks up the first down. Jukes one player and gets wrestled down about the 41-yard line. But first down yardage for Chad Darches down in the Karr Cougar territory, and the chains will move.
There's Joey Phillips once again. What an athlete he is. He's got 4 or 5 speed, plays that free safety position. He also plays on the basketball team with Noel Ellis, but Dayrod, you see, sets up and fires straight to the sideline. Really had the ball blocked, but a good catch by Dortes. Knows what to do with it with that 4-7 speed. Cuts back right there, and a good move on Lewis before he's brought to the surface by Joey Phillips.
First and 10. Toss sweep near side. Jackson kicking a hole. Look at him motor inside the 30. Ball comes loose. Bounding free at the 20. It's picked up by Dortes, and he's going to go into the end zone for a touchdown. What a peculiar play. I had a little home cooking Cajun style on it as that ball popped right up to Chad Dortes. Right place, right time, right touchdown.
And Dortes knows what to do with it. Boy, I'll tell you what, that had some crazy bounces to that ball right there. As you see, the Corey Jackson starts to turn up the field right here. The ball is going to be popped from his possession right about here as Joey Phillips walks out. He's hit from the blind side and pops through. Well, Ellis couldn't get to it, fighting over it, and Greg Dortes, Chad Dortes, is down on the spot, dances it to the last 20 yards into the end zone, puts Cecilia ahead, 6-0.
Andy Chance in to attempt the extra point. And the ball is up. And no good. Pulled off to the left side. So the score remains 6-0. Cecilia over the Carr Cougars. 11:21 left until halftime. Carr's offense will take a shot at evening it up right after this.
Just a reminder that kids who participate in high school sports tend to go a little farther than those who don't.
Welcome back to the Superdome. Gerald Duhon along with Renee Nato. Ball gathered in by Carr as they move from our left to our right. Joe Walker get wrestled down short of the 25, and out will trot Edward Sims to try to ignite the Carr offense.
What a crazy series of events happened right here as Jackson advanced the ball forward before being hit by Phillips in the front and another Carr Cougar from the back. Noel Ellis could not get to it, neither could the Cecilia player. And it advances forward to Dortes, scoops it up, and prances into the end zone the last 17 yards. And the extra point was not successful. So with 11:08 to remain before the halftime break, it's Cecilia 6 and Carr nothing.
First and 10 for the Cougars at their own 26-yard line. Back split. Sims rolls out, wants to pass, will. Deep down the field, intercepted. Chance coming back the other way. Cuts it at the 45, picking his block. Down to the 40, flag on the play. And Chance will finally be stood up at the Carr Cougar 36-yard line.
And Chance with an outstanding interception. He's only a sophomore. Not only is he a kicker, he's the free safety, or he's a quarterback, and he's a backup quarterback. He's tall, got a good coverage ability, and he brings it back, but it's going to be a penalty. Cecilia will retain possession of the ball, but you can see as Sims drops back, airs it out, perhaps a little bit too much air into the ball, looking for his receiver deep, dialing deep, and that pass was intended for Don Brewer. Yeah, Don Brewer, and Chance just steps in between and knows what to do with the ball tucked under his own, being a back and quarterback, but he was really hit right here at the end, but I think a block below the waist will bring it back.
Against the green, first down.
That's it.
So that'll back Cecilia up significantly because it's from the point of the foul, so they'll put it in play first and 10 from their own 32. Instead of having it into Karr Cougar territory, they'll start with decent position in their own territory.
Well, that was from the point of the foul, so that's why so much yardage was amassed against Cecilia. But Cecilia does hold the advantage on the scoreboard, 6-0 with 10:33 remaining here in the AAA state finals here at the Superdome.
Back split behind quarterback Baylord. They drop back, look downfield on the play action and toss the ball right over the middle, incomplete. The receiver Jonah Williams fell down, so the ball harmlessly fell to the turf. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And Watkins is back in the lineup for the Karr Cougars with his left ankle heavily taped. He's that guy that they need, and he's the pass rusher. He's got some visits. We're going to talk about some of these prospects that Karr has. David Watkins is being looked at by Tennessee, Nicholls State, McNeese, Tulane, and USL. He will visit Arkansas in the next few weeks.
Good shot of James Wagisback, the head coach of Cecilia, taking St. James to the state title back in 1979, taking these Cecilia Bulldogs to the state finals 3 times. Tonight being the 3rd. On first down, Jackson out of his tailback slot will surge forward. They pick up 1, so it'll be 3rd down and 9.
We talked about Noel Ellis. He's number 44 for the Karr Cougars. He was questionable with a knee injury, but I'll tell you, when the lights go on, you can tell who the real players are, and he just has to shrug off that pain and inconvenience of a knee injury. He's going to be wearing a knee brace throughout this entire game, but there's no tomorrow. This is the last game of the season for both of these teams.
3rd and long for Cecilia. Handoff, deep back through is Jackson, and he'll be well short of the first down. As Cecilia would appear to punch. With 9:24 left until halftime, protecting a 6-0 lead. With the ball at their own 36.
You know, the thing about this Karr defense, Gerald, is they play that split 4 down linemen, 4 linebackers, and they play a gap control. They have good athletes. They can, I guess not gamble, but they can beat their blockers one-on-one, and they're just a tough defense to block against.
Andy Chance stands back at his own 24-yard line. Back deep for the Cougars is Lewis and Phillips. High snap. Chance has to hurry. Gets off a nice effort. That'll come down to Phillips. He'll reverse his field, try to get outside. And will not as he's snowed under back at the 26-yard line. Excellent play by the Cecilia special teams as they cover downfield. Corey Green, one of your big guys, 6'2", 210, hustling down the field. A 44-yard kick, a negative 2-yard return.
We look at Jerry Phillips right there, and he's another one of those prospects. He's being recruited pretty heavily himself. Tulane, Florida State, Texas A&M, Notre Dame are looking very closely at number 30. But an athlete, he will visit LSU as well in the next few weeks. Jerry Phillips.
1st and 10 for the Cougars at their own 27-yard line. Double wide receivers on the right-hand side. Tight end on the left. Backs are split. 6-man Cecilia front. Sims options the ball out to Gibbons. He's hit, rolls forward, and picks up some nice positive yardage to Corey Gibbons, who kept his balance and kept those feet moving. And that translates into a quick gain on the play of 6 yards. 2nd and 4.
And he was hit by Israel Singleton, the strong safety, who came up to meet him, but showed what kind of balance he had. He advanced forward for a nice gain, and it's now 2nd and 4 yards with a 6-yard pickup. Good look at number 74, Bernard Robinson, all-Metro player.
Was an offensive tackle, moved to the inside because he could run. On 2nd and 4, Jerome Wilkes breaks up the Sims pass. The down marker will click over to 3. And Karr will try to avoid going 3 and out with a first down conversion here.
And Wilkes really a good athlete. He's got a 4.6 speed and all-district performer for the Cecilia team. And, you know, he's a leading tackler, but he always comes up with a big play, number 6. He's all over the field, played a little offense in the first quarter, but his best position is Mike linebacker, where he's installed at 5'11", 210-pound senior.
Karr 0 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. Counter, Gibbons. They crack the 35 and will be well short of the first down. Stopped at the 36-yard line, excuse me. Duanis Richard, the weak inside linebacker coming through to make the stop, and into the ball game will trot Helmstetter for yet another Karr Cougar punt.
You see a misdirection right here, and Gibbons really can't go anywhere. Nowhere to run. He's got 469 yards on the season, but he's been kept up pretty quiet by Cecilia defense thus far. He's got 23 yards for the 7 carries for the Karr Cougars.
Fourth and a long one. Karr with the ball at their own 36. Helmstetter into the ball game. The punt. Hackworth stands at his own 31. Clean snap. Low line drive kick. Hackworth will field it on the run. Make a move and be drilled down right at the 40. And Cecilia will put it in play. First and 10. A 29-yard kick and a 5-yard return. Good tackle by Freddie Baldwin, special teams demon of the Karr Cougars. And as you mentioned, Gerald, Cecilia sets up shop at their own 42-yard line with 6:52 remaining here. And Cecilia with a 6-point advantage. 6-0 over the Karr Cougars. It's been all defense here at the Superdome. Double wide out to right-hand side. Strength of the formation is to the left with the tight end. Handoff first back through, gets the call. That's Jermaine Davis. Davis has actually carried the ball more times this season than Corey Jackson has. Davis 173 times coming into tonight's game. Jackson 161, but Jackson in the tailback spot, averaging 8.5 yards a carry, comes into tonight's game with almost 1,400 yards. Davis averaging 4.8 yards a carry, has a little bit over 800 yards. So although Davis has used more from the fullback spot, Jackson has higher numbers.
Also, Jackson has 16 touchdowns to his credit, where Davis has 10.
And 8 receiving touchdowns for Jackson, too. He's dangerous catching and running. Gartez takes the flare-out pass from Bayard and turns it into a gain of 3. It'll be third down and short for Cecilia. Delando, Davis, and Noel Ellis combining on the stop. And actually, they're spotting that ball even further down the field than I thought. It would be first and 10 for Cecilia. Gartez knew just where those sticks were and laid out for him.
You know, this number 73 right there, Bart Vitt, he's a 5'11", 200-pound sophomore. He started for the Cecilia group as a freshman. That speaks in volumes of a player who can come in as a 9th grader and play for a successful program like Cecilia. Bart Vitt, keep an eye on him for the future.
Handoff once again to Davis, surging forward. Quick gain of 3. It'll be second down and 7. Cecilia winners of 50 of their last 58 ball games. An outstanding stat. I've got one for the Karr Cougars too. 36-5 the last 3 seasons. Of course, they did not play varsity ball before that. Karr turning from a junior high to a senior high and has really changed the landscape of the Metro New Orleans prep powerhouses. Karr is now one of them. Second down and 7. Bayard keeps it on the option, and he'll pick up the first down and get it inside the 35, down to the 34. Joseph Lyons calls down senior quarterback Rusty Bayard, a 10-yard pickup.
You know, Bayard really is a good quarterback, makes good decisions. He can get you out of some errors, and you know, he's thrown for over 1,000 yards in 94, 1,000 yards in 95. Very consistent. And we go back to again, he makes good reads, good decisions, and it's his decision to pitch or keep, and he keeps it right here for a good gain. Freezes that pitch man and the defensive player and makes a good gain for Cecilia.
And off once again to fullback Davis. Good power inside the 30. Take it down to the 28. And the Cecilia offensive line is doing the job. Once again, Karr's secondary called upon to make a stop. Dwayne Lewis calling down Davis, but not before he picks up a quick 6. It'll be second down and 4. And Alamo, Green, Landry, Dupree, and Vitt doing their work up front for the Bulldog offense. Pitch out Jackson, trying to pick a hole. Well strong. He's going to cut it back against the grain, and that's ill-advised. They'll lose yardage on that play. Back to the original line of scrimmage, and then some. Grant Johnson making the stop.
And Grant Johnson, only a junior, really plays this well. Good pursuit. He squares up. He doesn't go for any fakes. And number 66 is going to put the stop on Corey Jackson. And we mentioned Grant Johnson, Only a junior, 6'1", 230. Right here, puts a big paw on him, and down he goes. You can hear Grant Johnson's name. He'll be a prospect in 1996. Only a junior.
3rd and 9. Bayrod down the field, completes to Garces. He's got the first down all the way down to the 15. Ball pops out, but right back up to Garces. Excellent counter play, excellent pass. Check that. That was Charles Hackworth on the reception. Nice read by quarterback Bayrod to pick up the open receiver Hackworth.
And Hackworth with a good catch. He's consistent. He's a very much of a possession receiver. Catches his catch number 10 of the 1995 season. He averages 21.7 yards every time he catches the ball, but Bayrod really took a shot to the chops, as does Hackworth on the tackle here.
Timeout on the field, 6-0 Cecilia. Bulldogs want more as they're at the Karr 13-yard line with 3:14 left until halftime here. The AAA state championship game in the Superdome. Back with more in a moment.
Team is on the field. Our medics will be there, just in case. Every weekend, we'll be standing by at 100 high school and college football games. Acadian Ambulance and Air Med Services, looking after the ones you love.
As an employee-owned company, every day we are acquiring ownership in Acadian Ambulance. And every day we work harder to make the service even better.
We all try to do more than the job requires.
Because it's our company and our community.
And we want to give our best to both.
We're grateful for the opportunities to serve.
And for the acceptance the people we serve have given us.
Teaching community services is a big part of our business. We appreciate you entrusting your family to ours.
On first down, Jermaine Davis churns his big body forward, lumbering all the way down to the Karr 6-yard line for a quick pickup of 6. Jamal Casby finally makes the stop. It'll be 2nd down and 4 for Cecilia, threatening here late in the 2nd quarter.
And you see Berard here, that was a prior play as he took a shot as he delivered the ball to Charles Hackworth to get him in shape here, and then of course Davis gets him where they are right now at the 6-yard line.
Jackson and I. Toss Wilkes, left-hand side. Stopped at the 5. He'll crack it, get inside the 4, and it'll be 3rd down and 2. Corey Harrison, the inside linebacker, the senior, 5'10", 210, flying through to make the stop. They'll spot it right at the 5-yard line, so it'll actually be a long 2, 3rd and 2.
And Wilkes, they come in for a little extra punch here. He's a 210-pound prospect. He's a short yardage guy. He's an all-district performer on defense, but he comes in to give them some extra punch in the red zone.
Gartes and Hackworth split out wide on the right-hand side. Toss sweep, Jackson near side, strung out, stops, Rackers in the background, and falling behind the line. Jimmy Ferguson read it perfectly, coming through, making the stop, a loss of 1, and in will come the field goal unit for Cecilia.
And Jimmy Ferguson with an outstanding effort from his outside linebacker position. You can see he skates right here, skates to the sidelines, squares his shoulders, and you're not going to get outside of Jimmy Ferguson. 4.7 speed. He's being recruited by Arkansas, Texas A&M, LSU, Nichols, and Tulane. He will visit Tulane, and Texas A&M is hot on the trail of the 6'1", 205-pound senior, Jimmy Ferguson.
Andy Chance to attempt a 24-yard field goal to try to give the Bulldogs a 9-point bulge over the Cougars. Snap is back, ball is down, kick is up, and good. 1 minute left until halftime. It's a 9-0 Cecilia lead. The Karr defense holds, but Cecilia comes away with some points.
Who that got the lowdown on the rock and roll? Who that? Same sideline!
Watch Same Sideline, brought to you by Lennox, Louisiana Gas Service Company, and Pawpaw's Capper City.
Who that tells it straight?
For all the Saints action on and off the field, it's Saints Sideline. Monday night at 6:30 on WGNO 26.
Here you see the field goal attempt of 24 yards for Chance, the second score of the game, and they've got a 9-0 ball game.
11 plays, 52 yards for Cecilia Bulldogs. 5:52 up the clock, 24-yard field goal by Chance. 9-0 Cecilia over Karr.
Kickoff coming down to Joe Walker for Karr, and they get dropped just short of the 30-yard line. So with 53 seconds left, out will trot Karr quarterback Edward Sims, and we'll see what he can muster for the Cougar offense. With, as we mentioned, 53 seconds left until halftime, 9-0 Cecilia.
And Karr is really not as concerned. They'd like to get on the board, but like to regroup a little bit at halftime and come out. You see Edward Sims coming on the field. He's the quarterback for the Karr Cougars. And they have a lot of weapons, so they'll be back in this game. This game is far from over. I'm sure Cecilia has some weapons to put some points on the scoreboard before it's all over as well.
Sims hands off to Corey Harrison. Ball comes loose. It looks like it's recovered by Cecilia. If they're going to let it stand as it is, I thought I heard a whistle, but obviously not, as Cecilia recovered the ball. Israel Singleton, right place, right time, and yes, Bulldog football. They've got a chance to pick up some more down at the Karr 35. They're partying in Acadiana.
And you can see some happy fans that trekked down from Cecilia to make this a momentous occasion. And boy, I tell you, it looked like it could have been a dead ball right there, but the official sees it otherwise, and Cecilia has an opportunity with 36 ticks to go here before the halftime break. And Singleton, Johnny on the spot, he was really quick to the ball.
Timeout on the field, we'll take it to 9-0 Bulldogs over the Cougars.
When these guys meet the competition, teamwork and communications are the keys to a winning game plan. For reliable communications, these teams depend on Tomba Communications, the authorized Motorola dealer for the New Orleans area. Tomba features the latest Motorola two-way radio technology, like the new Visor that fits in the palm of your hand, yet is more powerful than two-way radios twice its size. When your winning game plan requires reliable communications, call Tomba, the communications team you can depend on.
Continental Airlines, now among the best in the business of getting you to your destination on time.
Welcome back. You get another look at the play, Renee, and it seemed like Harrison was down when this ball squirted out.
Well, the ground cannot cause a fumble, Joe, and it looked to me, from my vantage point, that Corey Harrison hit the ground and the ball squirted out, but the official was right there, and there's no questioning the stripes. They don't have the option of a replay, but you can see right here, Corey Harrison dancing around, and you see he's upended. And when he does go down, when he hits the surface, the ball squirts loose. But they see otherwise, and you see his hand; it's still in possession of Corey Harrison until he hits the ground.
Karr charged with a timeout here, so a chess match going on with 36 seconds left until halftime. 9-0. Cecilia on top. You'll get another look at it. As Harrison falls down, his body does shield, so you can't see if he's juggling the ball as he goes to the ground, but it clearly squirts out as he hits the ground.
Well, it looks like it's in his possession right here. Now, there's an official right in front of the camera right here. From his vantage point, it would have been tough to see if the ball was coming out prior to that. You see, his shoulder pad blocks the view of the pigskin, but in his vantage point, he says the ball came out.
Let's take the timeout as they unravel it down on the field. We'll be ready to go in just a moment. 36 seconds left until halftime. 9-0 Cecilia. It'll be first and 10 for Cecilia from the Karr 35 as they try to take advantage of the Karr miscue. Taylor pitch out to Chance. He's in the backfield. He wants to pass. Looking downfield. Passing the ball in the end zone for George. Intercepted by Noel Ellis. in the end zone. Ellis' second kickoff of this ball game. And Jerry Phillips muggy in excitement in the back of the end zone.
And that is Noel Ellis' 50th interception of the season. He has been a demon back there, and Noel Ellis shows why so many schools are looking for him. He just played the ball, played center field from his defensive back position, and Dayrard just airs it out. Oh, I'm sorry, Chance, who is, keep in mind, he is a backup quarterback as he circles the ball. He sells the defense on him running a sweep and then just airs it out deep, but that a great ability by Noel Ellis pulls it down to the end zone away from Dortez, and now with just 26 ticks, the Carr Cougars get it back and just have lost 6 seconds off the clock from their last possession.
I said Ellis' second interception. That's his first. Early in the game, Jerry Phillips had the other Cougar interception. That was just pure athlete against pure athlete right there. And Sims wants no part of that. He'll just kneel down at the 19 and put the clock in motion. Carr out of timeouts here in this second half. They'll be content to go to the locker room trailing by 9 to regroup. We've played 24 minutes of football here from the Louisiana Superdome. It's a 9-0 Cecilia Bulldog advantage of the Carr Cougars at halftime. We'll be back with the halftime show. Enjoy the bands before more football action.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We now present our halftime entertainment. First, the Edna Karr Marching Band takes the field under the direction of drum majors Tony Licata and Quincy Williams. Tonight marks the 19th football game at which the Cougar Band has performed this season. Entering with the band are the Carr Majorettes under the direction of Ms. Pat Charles, the Carr Twirling Sensation under the direction of Ms. Joan Fish, the Fantastic Flags under the direction of Ms. Lynn Galvazzo, and the Cougarettes under the direction of Ms. Constance Surrett. Edna Karr Pagan School, academics, athletics, and the arts all work together as part of the Carr family. As the band performs Randall Griffith's Best Friend, we would like to celebrate our football team's perfect season. First, to spell out our team's unbeaten record of 14-0. The band now begins the future as we spell out our team's record after this game, 15-0. For anyone still wondering who is the best AAA football team in Louisiana, we'll even give you their initials. of the Cougar family. Wherever they may go, they are never alone. To reinforce this fact, we now feature Cougar Band 8th grader Ryan Rice as the band performs Michael Jackson, "You Are Not Alone."
Something whispers in my ear and says, "You are not alone. I am here with you. Don't you fall away. I'm here to stay. You are not alone. I am here with you. Don't you fall apart. You're always in my heart. You are not alone."
Dancers under the direction of Ms. Bonnie Lagasse and the assistance of Mrs. Cheryl Twicker. We now feature the car Pride, the Cougar Band, and all of the sport groups as the band celebrates the fact that our team completely wiped out all of its competition this season. What better song to celebrate this competition? What better song to celebrate this than the Beach Boys classic, Wipeout? As we come to the end of Carr's unbeaten championship season, the Cougar Marching Band congratulates our team and wishes everyone a fond farewell. We'll be seeing you back in the dome in 1996. Performance. The car band director is Mr. Guy Wood. The car principal is Mr. John Heiser. The Cougar mascot is Devonica Deal. And the fantastic flags are under the direction of Mrs. Gwen Villavezo.
Made a routine to it. All set? Here you go.
Check this out. Pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume. Dance, dance. On the record when the drum beats go like bump your back with me one time. Ow! That's the end? Let's do it now. Here's our party. Check it out. Shake it like a dog, shake it like a dog. Shake it like a dog, shake it like a dog. Shake it like a dog, shake it like a dog. Shake it, shake it, shake it, kick it. What are you doing, dog?
Up here at the Louisiana Superdome. I'm Gerald Duhon along with Renee Nato, and it's been Cecilia opportunism so far this game that has helped them out to that 9-0 lead, Renee.
And Cecilia with over 130 yards in total offense. Carr can only muster 54 in time of possession. Cecilia with over 14 minutes with the ball, and of course Carr can only hold the ball for 9 minutes, but it'll be a different game. And keep in mind, both of these teams are very defensive-minded, so it's going to be tough to score.
Cecilia scoring first on a 17-yard Chad Dartez fumble return for a touchdown. Also a chance 24-yard field goal, and it's 9-0 right now. Cecilia on top of the car. Let's take a look at the halftime stats, Renee. Rushing yardage in favor of the Bulldogs.
Yes, in fact, as we mentioned, 90 yards for Cecilia, 33, and then the total offense, 135 for Cecilia, 54 for Carr. And the first downs, Cecilia with 9 first downs, and Carr can only muster 1 turnovers, 2 for each team, and a big fumble by Carr really was towards the end of the half was a big momentum factor for Cecilia.
Let's highlight as well Jerry Phillips returning an interception on Cecilia's first drive for an apparent touchdown. That play called back because of blocking infraction against the Carr Cougars. That negated Carr's only penetration into the end zone, so it's 9-0. Not too dissimilar, Renee, from the first time these two teams met, which was in the state championship 2 years ago. Cecilia taking a 10-0 lead into the final 3 minutes of the ball game before Carr came roaring back. Patrick Surtan to Ivory Felix. Ivory Felix, 29-yard pass, hit it 10-7 in that ball game with 3:30 left in the game, and then Mike Brown hitting a 28-yard field goal with 8 seconds left, tied it up at 10. Carr would win it in halftime, in overtime. underway in the second half as the ball's bobbled by Jackson around the 11-yard line. They'll be snowed under and stopped by a host of Carr Cougar tacklers. So Cecilia, with their first possession of the second half, will have its work cut out for it.
And Corey Jackson is holding his wrist. He suffered a stomach problem in the first half. As you can see, the Carr Cougars going to the sidelines, including many of the special teams players, but they can ill afford to lose Corey Jackson as he trots off the field. And it'll be tough. You see right here, he's engulfed by a sea of white jerseys, and he's pulled back. He sprained his right wrist. We don't know how, perhaps trying to stiff arm a player, but they can ill afford to lose him. Wilt steps in place.
He's been in and out with that wrist all night long. He's a tough player. You'll see a lot of him. Jermaine Davis on first down, surging forward over the 10, up to the 11 and the 12. Jamal Casby, the outstanding Cougar players, making the stop on that play.
And Jamal Casby, in case that name rings a bell, his dad, Tyrone, is the coach at Landry. And Casby really is one of those players that disrupts everything, gets good penetration. He's being recruited as well by Nichols, McNeese, USL, Northwest Louisiana, and Alabama State. Number 69, Jamal Casby, a fine defensive lineman.
It'll be second down and 8 for the Carr Cougars. For the Cecilia Bulldogs.
See a good shot of David Watkins. He's another fine player. He'll visit Arkansas. We'll talk about the prospects he has. A 6'4", 215-pound defensive end, David Watkins.
Handoff on the counter, surging forward is Jonah Williams. Get up to the 15 on a 3-yard gain. Getting third down and 5, and once again, Casby on the stop. Casby, 6'0", 230, he's a senior. 1 fumble recovery, 2 caused fumbles, and 6 sacks coming into tonight's game.
Williams with a little spry step. He's only a sophomore, 155-pound tailback. But he knows what to do with the ball under his arm. Not much running room there for Williams, but he's replaced by Corey Green, the Corey Jackson, as he comes back into the game. Replaces Williams, and Cecilia's looking to maintain some ball control as they have in the first half.
Hayward keeps it on the option, the quarterback option, and well defensed by Carr and Shannon Smith, the junior inside linebacker, and Cecilia will be forced to punt for opening possession of the third quarter.
It's the first time that Cecilia has been halted in their offensive game plan, and you see Watkins turns it in right here and allows Shannon Smith to make the stop as Carr has really turned it up a notch and made some defensive adjustments. Remember, they use that gap control defense and played outstanding throughout the season, only allowing 5 points per game to their opponents.
Chance stands back at his own 1. Phillips and Lewis, and the snap goes over the head of Chance and out of the end zone for a safety. Carr picks up a safety, 9-2, and Cecilia will have to punt it back to Carr. Chance throwing his arms up. He never had a shot at the ball. The ball clearly snapped over his head, sailing out of the end zone. Let's take a look at the replay.
And it does sail over his head. He just, there's not much he can do for that. In fact, he's lucky the ball was not recovered because it would have been a touchdown, but it sailed harmlessly out of bounds, out of the end line, and there will be a safety. Carr won't get possession, so Cecilia will not only suffer 2 points, but they'll have to relinquish the ball to Carr Cougars.
Touchdown in an extra point as Carr's got an excellent extra point kicker, and Matt Dick will tie the ball game at 9 apiece. Of course, now Cecilia's missed extra point on their first touchdown, and the field goal they worked so hard to get in the first half is now negated by that safety. It's a 7-point game we have right now.
It makes you wonder if Carr does happen to be fortunate enough to score a touchdown, would you go for 2 points depending on the game situation, how much time is left, and so on? But it calls for a decision if that opportunity presents itself. But Cecilia has not allowed much offense to the Carr Cougar offense, and Cecilia has done pretty good. This is the first time they've had trouble offensively throughout this game.
As we mentioned at the head of this half, Renee, very similar to the last time these two teams played in the state finals, which was the last time they met. Cecilia held that 10-0 advantage until late in the game before the Carr offense finally came alive. You know, the Carr offense, much maligned this year, blasted early on as being not quite up to speed with the defense, but believe it or not, last year Carr's offense averaged 27 points. This year's Carr's offense averaged 27 points. The free kick will come down to Joe Walker for Carr. He'll get across the 40. The ball squirts free. Cecilia thinks they've come up with it. The Carr players pointing the other way. And it will remain Cougar ball, first and 10 for Carr.
That's been a tough spot on the field for the Carr Cougars. They fumbled a ball almost into the identical spot the second quarter near the halftime break, and the ball went over to Cecilia. And once again, the ball is fumbled, but in this particular case, Carr retains possession, as you see. Ed Sims got onto the field. He's that quarterback, and really done a good job in the playoffs, taking control. He's got good reads, second-year starter. He's good at running, and I tell you, don't be surprised. He can air it out from 45 yards.
Hand off to Stevens, the lead back to medical line of scrimmage is driven backwards. He'll lose a yard. Excellent pursuit by Jerome Wilkes, the leading tackler, all-district middle linebacker, and Theo Singleton as well on that play. Call it first and 11 for Carr. With 9:05 left in the third quarter, and Cecilia holding on to a 9-2 advantage.
Theo Singleton, what a prospect he's going to be. He's only a sophomore, wears number 34. He can rush a quarterback, Joe, and be quick enough to go downfield and make a tackle on a screenplay to the running back. So he's got tremendous pursuit ability.
Flags coming out as this play is unable to get off. We'll listen to referee Buddy John Graw. Good ball foul for CJ. The call against Carr. That'll back him up another 5, so we'll have a second and short 15. Very long 16. Excuse me, a short 16 or a long 50.
You know, the things that Cecilia needs to do in the Windows game is stop the big play, stop the option, and stop the long pass. And they've done all three thus far as we approach 8 minutes and 44 seconds remaining in the third stanza.
Sims beneath center. He'll turn the ball upfield on the quarterback keeper, get across the 40, look it up to the 41. He'll get back to the original line of scrimmage. Corey Green laying the lumber. Corey Green's got one of the most outstanding stats I think I've seen this prep season, Renee, and that is he's blocked 6 punts. That's unreal.
Yeah, he's also got 9 passes broken up and caused 8 fumbles. And he's got 103 tackles on the season. You can see this is another tackle that he's going to perform right here. But Sims is bent in half right here. And you can credit Chris Broussard for a low tackle right in the ribs. And he'll feel that for quite a while.
Third and 10. Sims, the roll right, set up with time. Now he'll tuck it under and run. Look it up to the 43, well shy of the first down. Flag on the play. Sims saying his face mask was grabbed.
Well, it may be, if it is a face mask, it may be 5 yards, and I'm just surmising that.
Grabbing the face mask on Cecilia. Bulldogs.
That'll be 15 yards. All face mask infractions in high school are 15 yards. That'll bring it down to the 32-yard line.
You're right. This is not a Saints game we're watching here. It could be. Clay Falcon is a good game, 9-2. This is for the AAA crown of the state of Louisiana for 1995, and what a great job both these coaching staffs have done. Coach Waggis Pack of Cecilia, and Coach Don Watney of Carr.
Sims keeps it on the option, finds a crease, gets inside the 35, down to the 33.
You know, that penalty may loom very large if Carr can convert right here, because they were looking at a punting situation. They were 4th and long, and that face mask infraction gave them a new life and a new opportunity. And Sims right here breaks a tackle, holds on to the ball, gets hit a number of times. That's one thing you have to say about Cecilia. They gang tackle. There's no such thing as one man bringing the ball carrier down. They tackle in gangs and groups.
Second and short, down at the 33-yard line. Double tight end for Carr. Sims keeps it to pick up the first down. Cam's got a one tackle and still motored down to the 25, down to the 24-yard line. Corey Green finally makes the stop. The Carr offense, Renee, is coming alive.
And yes, that offensive front is beginning to make some noise with Washington, Robertson, Johnson, Paletti, and Roach. And you can see Sims is just showing some great athletic moves right here. And the Carr offensive front is just taking control in the pit and opening some holes. But I'll tell you, what a tenacious defense this green jersey Cecilia Bulldog group has.
This is Carr's deepest penetration since 10 minutes in the first quarter. At the Bulldog 24. Handoff counter going the far away. Is Carr all the way down to the 14-yard line. Is Shannon Smith.
Actually, it's the 16-yard line. He's shy. His knee went down, so they'll credit him with a gain to the 16-yard line. But really looking at a second down and short yardage for the Carr Cougars. And yes, that face mask infraction has really given them new life. You can see a good run here, giving them deep in penetration.
Full house backfield on second and short, surging straight ahead in the power game. Puncturing the 15, getting down to the 14-yard line. Is Corey Harrison, your short yardage specialist, 5'10", 210-pound senior. And the chains will move first and 10 to the Carr Cougars down to the 14-yard line. Timeout on the field. Cecilia wants to talk about it. 9-2. Cecilia on top of Carr with 5:58 left here in the third quarter from the Louisiana Superdome. Gerald Duhon along with Renee Nato, happy to be bringing you this AAA state championship ball game. The Carr faithful on the far sideline, whooping it up, responding. And once again, Renee, we see the Carr defense setting up the Carr offense. A staunch Carr defense holding Cecilia 3 and out on their opening drive and forcing a punt, which turned out to be a poor snap, a safety for Carr, and that defensive stand has now ignited their offense.
Well, the thing that Carr, we talked about Cecilia, the thing that Carr must do is control the ball. They only throw when they have to. They opened the game with a pass to the tight end and really haven't thrown much since that time. They've thrown a couple of times, really had one picked off. But they must run consistently, which they've really gutted it out and play hard-nosed offense. And they must have their defense allow them good field position. And one thing, their defense has not been as solid in the first half. That's Carr's defense. And it's not turned the ball over, forced Cecilia to mistakes. Cecilia has played a pretty good first half, and this is their toughest challenge the Cecilia defense has received thus far in this contest.
Both sets of fans getting into it now. First and 10 for Carr. At the Bulldogs 14, motion right to left. Hand off on the delay. That's Harris. He's got some room inside the 5. Down to the 3-yard line goes Corey Harrison. Corey Jackson and Chris Broussard make the stop, but it'll be first and goal for Carr.
And Corey Harrison, 5'11", 215 pounds. He knows what to do with the ball. He's employed as an inside linebacker, but he is the tough guy in the red zone, which is right here, and he's diving. He smells that goal, and boy, I tell you what, he will lay the lumber to you. He takes that same mentality as a linebacker and attacks the defense when he's carrying the ball.
One wide out on the left-hand side. Backs are in and out. Everybody in tight. Sims will keep it. Surge ahead. Get drilled down just short of the goal line. Second and goal. The interior of that Bulldog defense. Baptiste and Broussard and Singleton and Davis all converging to make the stop.
And what a front right here. Look at that surge. Great surge by the offensive front, particularly Robertson and Johnson and Paletti up front for the Carr Cougars. Gives them a little running room down to the 1-yard line, and it's second and 1. Boy, I tell you, this is tough going right here.
Handoff. Second back through into the end zone for the touchdown. That was Leonard Rouse. Leonard Welch coming into the ball game and turning him into the end zone. And Karr has come from 1 point and tying this ball game up with 5:07 left in the third quarter.
And that's Welch's 14th touchdown run of the 1995 campaign. He runs tough, really runs tough behind that offensive front, dives a la Herschel Walker and gets into the end zone. And boy, I'll tell you what, great job. Credit the offensive front for Karr for that score.
Welch's ankle was bothering him. You couldn't tell it on that last play. Matt Dick into the extra point. Low snap. Dick gets it up in time, and Dick is good. Late flag comes streaming down as Dick may have been roughed on that play. He was on the seat of his britches. It's 9-9 right here. 5:07 left in the third quarter.
I would like you to notice that there's a replay that the holder dropped the ball and got it back in position in time for the extra point to be successful. This is the touchdown run right here. Leonard Welch gets the ball and just a tremendous surge running behind fullback Corey Harrison. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of beat up front right there. He's just got a great alley, dives, gets airborne into the end zone and breaks that plane. And the extra point is coming here. You see, watch, number 90 drops the ball, but gets it back just in time. Does not break the place kicker's concentration or his follow-through. And I tell you what, you can credit number 90, Jimmy Ferguson, with an outstanding play with his hands and making that play successful. He dropped the ball and got it back in time for Dick to make the extra point.
Roughing the kicker was the call against Cecilia, so Karr will kick off from the Cecilia 45 as the penalty will be tacked on to the ensuing kickoff.
That drive gelled 9 plays, going 59 yards, 4:33 off the clock. The final play was that 1-yard dive by Leonard Welch, his 13th of the campaign, and in case that name rings a bell, his uncle Robert is the head coach at Forche, which was one of the top coaches in this area. So he comes from a pretty good bloodline. Leonard Welch, only a junior. Great guy, too, Robert Welch. Yes, he is. Good coach.
Kickoff by Jesus Howells in and out of the end zone. The youngster down there having some fun with some of the Karr players.
You know, this kickoff, this guy, Jesus Howell, his dad, this is the first time he's watching him play. This is the first time his dad is watching him play, and his dad is in from Honduras, and he's never saw his son, Jesus, play before, and so that's a proud day for that dad and son and family. What a big, big day. A 9-9 game here in the Superdome, and what an exciting game. It's everything it was built to be.
Out comes Bayward. Backs on an eye, double wide out, left-hand side. Handoff first back through. Big hole to Jermaine Davis. He'll spin forward to the 28. Quick pickup of 8 yards. David Watkins making the stop.
And Davis can make a lot of yards in his own, but he runs behind the left side of the line. Corey Green and Parker Allamont, you can see, and also a good block right there. Good block, allowing him to getting free into the secondary for a good pickup at 2nd and 2 for the Bulldogs.
And off this time to Jackson. He'll pick up the first down. Get across the 35 up to the 36. Chains will move for the Cecilia Bulldogs. Dwayne Lewis comes up the Layla Wood and make the stop for Karr.
And he's taking a pounding. I tell you, every time Corey Jackson carries the ball, that wrist is really, really bothering him a great deal, and he's just trying to play on grit and guts, and you can see that right wrist is really bothering him an awful lot. He takes a hit right here from David Watkins, gives him a first down, but Corey Jackson finds a seat on the bench.
And to be helped to the bench by one of the trainers. Davis surging ahead just short of the 40-yard line. Gain of 2. Jackson's wrist has been bothering him since the first quarter in there when he took a shot. He's been in and out of the game ever since then.
That's a lot of pain right now, and he's playing on sheer guts, knowing that this is the last game of the 1995 season. In fact, this is the last game of his career at Cecilia.
2nd and 7. strength of the formation is to the left side. And the tight end, Robbie Chevalier, who is the credit for the strength of that side, jumps a little early. Procedure against Cecilia. Talking about careers at Cecilia, we've mentioned Jamaican Dartez. Coming through this year with the all-time Tulane rushing record for freshmen, surpassing Reggie Reginelli. And during the season, during Tulane's bye week, Jamaican, an outstanding honor. His number 19 retired in ceremonies back in Cecilia. So you will find no number 19 for the Cecilia Bulldogs on the field. Baylord wants to pass, tossing the ball deep down the field, complete on the play. Across midfield, Chris Broussard hauling in that pass. A beautiful catch on that play as he went way up in the air. Dwayne Lewis bringing him down, and Broussard hanging on to the ball. Excellent protection for quarterback Baylord as well.
Baylord with great ball-handling skills, and he delivers it right where it needs to be. Throws it right on mark to Broussard, and we mentioned Broussard, tall, 6'2". He's a good cover man, a good wide receiver. He's an all-district performer as his quarterback position, and he is only a junior. He'll be back wearing the green again in 96.
Wideouts left and right, backs in an eye. 5-man car front. Hand off to fullback Davis. He'll make it down to the 42. Gain of 5. Shannon Smith, an inside linebacker, closes in for the stop. This Karr Cougar team has never lost a district game in the 3 years that they've competed in District 10 3A. Started the season ranked number 3, worked their way up to number 1 in week 6. Cecilia, as we mentioned, ranked number 2. There's a close shot of tailback Corey Jackson, who's been hampered tonight by a wrist injury.
Looks like it might be his elbow. Not sure. It's definitely an arm injury.
Second down, running right, Williams. And he's hit net at the 40-yard line. What a hit.
Noel Ellis. Guess what, fellas? Meet Mr. Ellis. And Noel Ellis, a 6'3", 210-pound product. Again, he's a basketball prospect, but a football prospect as well, and probably one of the best athletes on his team. He really, you can hear the wood crack from up here. Watch this. Williams is still going, but he's going to run into number 44, and all of a sudden he's going in the opposite direction. You can hear the brake screeching and the glass cracking right here.
Ellis, too, last week, hurting his knee against Faraday, and it was questionable whether he'd play all week. Baylord dropping back, play action, complete to Dartez. Dartez inside the 30, down to the 28-yard line. Hackworth with that reception. Phillips finally hauls down Hackworth, and on a pivotal third down, the chains will move for the Cecilia Bulldogs. Hackworth once again with another clutch catch.
That's catch number 11 on the 1995 campaign, and Hackworth, a senior, giving it his all for the final game. A 5'8", 150-pound wide receiver. Flanker back, Charles Hackworth. Well, he's done a good job for the green and gold to his career.
And off Davis. Wrapped up, nowhere to go. Guess who? David Watkins, first one there, along with Jamal Casby as well. He's driven backwards and stopped.
Now, we talked about it, most of these players. David Watkins had an ankle injury in the first quarter, but he's going to be a good stand-up linebacker on the next level. He runs a 4.940, Gerald. He is being recruited hard by Tennessee, Nichols, Magnice, Tulane, and USL. He will visit the Razorbacks of Arkansas as soon as the season concludes, but he's got a great frame, 6'4", 215, can add about 20 pounds, and makes him an outstanding outside linebacker, defensive end.
25 seconds left in the third quarter with the clock rolling. We're tied up here, 9-9. Baylord wants to pass, play action, tosses the ball, overthrown. Cannot get to his intended receiver, Chad Dartez. Good coverage by Jerry Phillips. 15 seconds left in the third quarter. Cecilia attempting to move the ball on what Lutcher head coach Tim Detillier called the best defense that he has ever seen in his many years coaching.
Great ball handling skills by Bayrard, and look at the delivery. I mean, a great spiral. He just overshot his receiver, but Bayrard, an all-district performer, with a 3.5 grade point average, so he's a pretty cerebral guy. Bayrard wants to pass again, stands, overthrown, almost picked off by Noel Ellis, who had visions of goal line dancing in his Christmas wish list there. And visions of grandeur. You see that knee brace that is hindering his mobility just a wee bit, but he's picked out 15 enemy passes throughout the 1995 campaign. Had perhaps if Jimmy Ferguson not got a hand on it, Noel Ellis would have been touchdown bound, or at least would have made an interception. But Cecilia breathes new life with a 4th and 12 situation, and they're in for a play. And just a field goal,
a 47-yard field goal attempt from Andy Chance. It gives Cecilia the lead. Good snap. Ball going. And good! It did not appear it would have the distance, but it found its way through the uprights. And Cecilia, on the strength of a 47-yard field goal, goes ahead of Karr, 12-9, with 4 seconds left.
And Andy Chance is a guy that usually converts from 40 yards and in. Other than that, Chris Broussard comes in and kicks, but they had a lot of confidence in Andy Chance, and he converts on a 47-yard field goal. He's the all-district kicker and punter, and I tell you what a great job he did. Andy Chance, only a sophomore, right here. Good control of the ball, and he really got a lot of explosion into it inside the, I tell you, he had a lot of room there, a lot of distance, and puts the Bulldogs up 12-9 in a seesaw battle here. Has come down to 4 ticks in this 3rd stanza. Andy Chance, you'll hear a lot from that young man before his career is over for the Cecilia Bulldogs. And that drive, Gerald, 11 plays, 50 yards distance, 5 minutes and 3 seconds off the clock. The final play in that drive, a 47-yard field goal by sophomore kicker Andy Chance. As Chance prepares to kick off at his own 40-yard line, and Karr has really had not much luck offensively tonight, and the only drive they've had is the last touchdown drive in the 3rd quarter here as we fast approach the beginning of the 4th quarter, and the final ticks. His final play will take it down to the end of the 3rd period.
High end over end kick. Lewis takes it. He'll run it up across the 30. That's to the 31, and that is the end of the 1st quarter. With Cecilia clinging to a 12-9 advantage. First and 10 for Karr. Givens operating on the right-hand side. He'll crack the 30, get up to the 32-yard line, and it'll be 2nd down at 8 as Karr starts the 4th quarter trailing by 3 to Cecilia, 12-9. And Renee, that field goal by Chance, breaking a AAA record for the longest field goal here in the Superdome during the Classic. 38 yards was the previous record last year by Fabian Franklin. So we've got a brand new field goal record of 47 yards by Andy Chance.
What a big field goal that was. In fact, Karr has kind of changed things up a little bit. Has closed the gap of statistics. Cecilia in total offense, 195 to Karr's 103, the 3 quarters of play.
Handoff to Harrison. And the Cecilia defense is fired up. He does not get much. Jerome Wilkes making the stop.
Good shot right there of Jonah Williams. Jonah Williams, who's played both sides of the ball, stepping up this game, playing offense and defense, and done a pretty good job. And Jerome Wilkes has been that fire leader from his Mike position on the defense.
Sims being hurried in the backfield will toss the ball downfield and underthrown his intended receiver. A late flag comes streaming in on the far side. It will be 4th down, but let's read the flag.
It's going to go against the Karr Cougars. Ineligible receiver downfield.
I'm sure that'll be declined. Which would force yet another Cougar punt.
You see Sims, once he breaks contain here, he's a little dangerous, but Corey Green does keep a beat on him right here, and Jerome Wilkes keeps distance between he and the receiver. And it was just an incomplete pass, but you can credit Corey Green for putting pressure on Sims and Jerome Wilkes with positioning himself for an interception on a break up a pass. Happy fan right there.
Having a good time making the trip down from St. Martin.
A lot of happy faces right now. 12-9, a lot of football to be played, and Karr will relinquish the ball to the Cecilia Bulldogs.
4th down. As Cecilia will burn a timeout and talk things over. Some alignment a little unclear. Coach Wagasback will huddle his troops and chat about it with 10:39 left in the ball game. 12-9 Bulldogs on top of the Cougars here in the Superdome. James Wagasback leading the St. James Wildcats to a state championship back in 1979. And now he's trying to do the same with the Cecilia Bulldogs. Cecilia losing last year in the quarters to eventual state champ Amite by only 1 point, 21-20. And coincidentally, Amite also eliminating Karr last year in the regionals, 6-3. Cecilia's losses here in the Dome for state finals to Karr, well documented on this broadcast 2 years ago, 13-10 in overtime, and the year before to arch rival Jennings, 14-7. The Jennings Bulldogs over the Cecilia Bulldogs back in '92. Helmstetter receives the snap, puts a high spiraling kick. It'll be taken right at the 35-yard line by Hackworth with a fair catch. They'll be put it in play, first 10 for Cecilia. And you know, that's something that you can tell a well-coached team, they use the fair catch. You just don't see that enough in high school football, is teams using the fair catch and using it correctly. And Hackworth showed very good judgment right there.
You're going to have ice water in your veins to run back punts at any level, high school, college, or professional. And good punt return specialist is worth his weight because he can lull the defense into thinking the ball. They have no way of knowing where the ball is coming down. So on a bad kick, he can lull the defense to sleep somewhat. Hayward will give it to Wilkes, who will struggle forward for a gain of 3. Dwayne Lewis running up from his cornerback spot. Seeing a lot of playing time tonight with Rasheed Johnson less than 100% with a knee injury. Corey Jackson still positioned on the bench, and that is increased playing time for Jerome Wilkes. Comes over from defense. He knows what to do with the ball. Breaks a couple of tackles right there and finally put down on a nice tackle by Dwayne Lewis. He's 2nd and 7.
And out to fullback Davis, who will surge forward and not pick up much more. And Renee, you've witnessed this Cecilia defense tonight, an impressive defense, but would you believe me if I told you that they've yet to pitch a shutout this season? Of course, it's not going to happen tonight with Karr's 9 points, but you think with the type of defense that we've seen Cecilia run tonight, they would certainly have a couple of shutouts during the season. They've played exceptional defense here this evening.
They just play that smash mouth ball on both sides of the ball, and it's easy to see why they've gained this much momentum has gotten here to the Superdome.
Toss sweep right on 3rd and 5, stringing out the play and tying up Jonah Williams is Shannon Smith.
And Shannon Smith is going to be a prospect for 1996. He's a linebacker, only a junior, 4.8 speed. He skates to the sidelines, keeps good position between him and the runner, and explodes into Williams for the tackle. Calls for a 4th down and 3 yards to go. A punting situation for Cecilia. It may give the Karr Cougars pretty good field position. And an excited bunch there. They're glad to be here and do an outstanding job, and they deserve to be where they are in the Superdome, playing for the finals of 3A.
4th and 3, chances in the punt. Beautiful, spiraling kick. Wow. And it takes a big Cecilia bounce, and Lewis covers it with great athleticism up around the 14-yard line. What a kick. A 45-yard punt for Chance.
What a great kick by Andy Chance. Easy for you to see why he is the all-district punter and place kicker. Andy Chance, only a sophomore. He'll be back for more great days ahead for the Cecilia Bulldogs. But good foot action. Boy, I tell you what, and that was a heck of a kick right there.
Nice spiraling action on the ball as it comes down earthward. And watch this move by Lewis.
Wow, that was difficult right there. That looks like he coming home from a hard day's work.
Hard night's play, you know.
Well,
Sims on the quarterback keeper across the 15, up to the 16. I'll tell you, if I'm Lewis, I don't want to muff that and have to come back to the bench and have to face Coach Watney.
If he does, he's on the Cecilia bus going home. But it's 2nd and 7 yards to go, so a 3-yard pickup. But Edward Sims, this is going to be quite a challenge to the senior quarterback right here. And Welsh, Givens, and Harrison are going to have to step up a notch. The runners, the foot soldiers, if you will, for the Karr Cougars.
Backs are split behind Sims, who will keep the ball, taking matters into his own hands, surging across the 25 up to the 28-yard line. And on 2nd and 7, Edward Sims picks up a 1st down before Theo Singleton to make the stop. And the chains will move for the Cougars. So after successive 3-and-out drives for both teams, Karr puts together a 1st down, and they're moving from our right to our left with 7:24 left in the ball game, and the Cougars trailing by 3.
Good faking brought all the attention to Corey Harrison, and Sims is allowed some freedom to dance down the field and drag a tackler or two with him for a 1st down for a nice pickup. He had 400 yards rushing for the 1995 season.
Sims, once the pass harried, now dropped across the 30. Nice defensive pressure on that play. Israel Singleton coming through. Sims will squeeze 2 yards out of it. Call it 2nd and 8.
Coach Watney, in his 5th season with the Karr Cougars. What a great job he's done. Everywhere he's been, he's done an outstanding job. And he runs that split back veer and does a little spread offense, some trips, some splits. But I'll tell you, his forte is defense.
Sims rolls right, tosses the ball deep down the field, overthrown and incomplete. His intended target on that play was Don Brewer. Flag on the play. Any chance with good coverage down the field. Let's read this flag. No flag. No infraction. Sims rolling out and just paced it after he released the ball. Theo Singleton coming through. I'm sure that contributed to the throw out of bounds.
Well, he hit with the crown of the helmet. He's lucky he got away with that hit. It wasn't a violent tackle, if you will. So Sims was knocked to the ground, but it was not a penalty in the opinion. And that was a pretty good hit. Pretty good pressure by Theo Singleton.
Coming back the other way, immediately snuffed out and dropped. Tyrone Wilkes read that like an open book. Henry Brady, the tight end, slow to get up when he comes to his feet. That reverse sniffed out in a loss on the play all the way back to the 25. It'll be 4th down for Karr, and after a 1st down, their drive stalls. They're forced to punt.
And that was Jay Walker trying to get back some yards for the Carr Cougars, and now they're in a punting situation with 5:55. And if Cecilia can make some noise right here with this possession, they can run this clock down to just a minute or two left in the game and not leave much time for the Carr Cougars.
Helmstedter's punt, a spiraling kick that Hackworth will take in at his own 39 and advance the ball up to the 44-yard line. And that's where Cecilia will put it in play. A 35-yard kick and a 6-yard return.
As the offense comes back in the field for Cecilia, and we talked about those offensive front. You see number 73 right there, only a sophomore, a baby. But Parker Alamont, a 6'1", 295-pounder. He's a 3-year starter. He has been in the offensive front for 1,000-yard rushers for the last 3 years. He's being looked at closely by USL and Tulane. We mentioned his strength, 440 in the bench press.
Hand off to Davis, straight ahead, nothing doing, says the interior of the Cougar defense. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10. The Carr defense needing to stiffen up here. Cougars have all 3 of their timeouts. Cecilia with but 1 with 5:15 left in the ball game, and Cecilia on top of Carr, 12-9.
What an exciting game this has been. It's been everything that has built to be coming into this game. 2 powerhouses from the 3A level.
Hand off again to fullback Davis, who's getting extensive work tonight. And they'll surge across the 50 on an excellent second effort. Make it into Carr Cougar territory.
Great leg strength on the part of Jermaine Davis, 190 pounds fullback, and as you alluded to, Joe, he's got 824 yards. He's averaging 4.7 yards per toe, 10 touchdowns. He's used primarily as a blocker for Corey Jackson, but with Jackson on the sidelines for this game, much of the game with that wrist and elbow injury, Jermaine Davis has gotten much more attention. 3rd down conversions for Cecilia, 2 out of 9 on the game.
It's a big one right here, 3rd and 5. Pitch out. Williams. Penalty markers coming down. Williams well short of the 1st down. Carr defense stringing that one out with excellent execution. Corey Harrison applying the brakes. Shannon Ruffin helping out. Holding Cecilia.
You know, Harrison wanted to redeem himself. He broke his ankle before the 1994 playoffs began. He's a hitter, got good speed. He's being looked at as well by Northwest Louisiana, Nicholls State. But he comes up. Good linebacker instincts he possesses. Corey Harrison, number 34. You see him come into your picture shortly here. And he puts the stops on. Good, right here. Puts the stop on. Good helmet-to-helmet action. And he's helped along by Shannon Smith and a couple of his teammates. But a good stop by Corey Harrison.
Chance stands back at his own 38. Lewis and Phillips at their 10. This is a shorter effort by Chance that Phillips will run up and take it to 20, room at the 30. Look at him go. Across the 45, across midfield, dragging tacklers all the way down to the 40-yard line. What an outstanding punt return by Jerry Phillips to give Carr an opportunity to either tie or go up in this ball game with 3:33 left in the contest.
And Phillips just hit that lane. You can see he saw a lane right, and he's heading right down that lane. He gave one of these Cecilia Bulldogs a ride on his back, and you can see right there, that was Chad D'Artez, and they said the ball was dead. But look, he hits the lane right here. Good block by Jimmy Ferguson, and Watkins picks up a block right here as well. But a good cutback. Had Chance not held him up, he was touchdown bound, and he gave D'Artez a nice ride on his back.
A 38-yard punt return for Jerry Phillips. On 1st down.
And this is the time when the Carr Cougars are going to have to make some noise offensively. They've averaged 27 points a game offensively, so they're looking at 9 points. You can see right here, it looks like the ball may be stripped away. It looks like it was a fumble. So I guess perhaps they broke it even. They had one ball taken away where maybe it was not a fumble, so this one was a fumble. They're 1-1.
Shannon Smith ran the ball on 1st down, and on 2nd down, Corey Gibbons runs it
He goes over the right side, down to the 35. Corey Gibbons, I tell you the one thing about him, only 5'6", 155, Gerald, but great vision, good quickness, good hands, and he really reads his blocks very, very well. Sometimes the hole may not be where it's supposed to be, so he'll peel it back. On third down conversions, Karr is 0 for 7 on the evening, and it's 3rd and 7 right now. Pitch out, near side, that's Jerry Phillips trying to pick his blocks and cannot. He's met at the 35 and dribbling backwards after a gain of 2. It'll be 4th down and at least 5, and with 2:12 and the clock running in this ball game, Karr must go for it on 4th down. Karr will talk about it as they spend one of their 3 timeouts. 2:05 left in the contest. Cecilia 12, Karr 9. Here for the AAA state championship in the Louisiana Superdome. You see Wiltz really put the big hat on him right there. Jerome Wiltz put the stop on Phillips. And that was a big tackle by 2 fine athletes. It's 4th and 5 right now, and this may be the ball game because if Cecilia hits the ball back, they only have 2 minutes. And if they get a first down, that could be the ball game for the Bulldogs. But 12 to 9, a defensive struggle. It's everything you thought it would be. You mentioned Cecilia coming in and only allowing their opponents 12 points per outing. And Karr with a low 5.2 points per game to their opponents for the 1995 season, including 6 shutouts throughout the year. This game very similar to the previous game, 13 to 10. This game 12 to 9. I'm talking, of course, of the 1993 state championship game that Karr won. This is what makes champions right here. This separates the contenders from the pretenders. When you can convert or hold your opponent right here, we'll find out who's got what it takes right here to be a champion. 2 undefeated 14-0 Giants sparring. 4th and 5. Sims calls for the ball. Rolls right. He may tuck it or throw it. He'll be stopped, met in the backfield, and driven out of bounds. Israel Singleton flying up. And the coverage was there downfield as well. Sims had nowhere to throw it. He had to hang on to the ball, and he was driven out of bounds. The ball will go over to Cecilia on down. 1:51 left in the contest. Karr has the 2 timeouts. And let me tell you what happened right here. Israel Singleton comes up from a strong safety position, puts pressure on the quarterbacks, but he has a nose for the ball. He's quick for the ball, and he just figured his quarterback could cover his backside. He came up, met the run, made a tremendous play, got some help right there. But you can credit Israel Singleton, only a junior, strong safety, for making one of the biggest plays of the game, maybe the biggest play of the year for the Cecilia Bulldogs. Number 80 comes into it here, and he gets some help from Corey Green, number 54. But number 80 put on the brakes on Ed Sims. 1st and 10 for Cecilia at their own 40. The object now, hold on to the ball, maintain the clock, and keep it spinning towards the Bulldogs' first state championship. 1st and 10. Quarterback Bayrard bringing his troops up to the line of scrimmage. The clock is in motion. It does go in motion on change of possession in high school. Handoff on the left-hand side. Fullback Davis. He won't get far. Karr immediately calling a timeout. 1:24 left in the contest. It'll be 2nd and 10. Don Watney, the end of a long nights of work for that man and a long season of work as well for both he and his staff. A lot of long work here for folks as well, including executive producer Wayne Griffith, producer Jamiel Starkey, director of events here Mark Kaufman, our director Walter Volpatti, graphics DJ Barrett, cameras, stage managers, and all the rest of the people that have really helped out and added to this broadcast tonight. Hard work for everyone involved, bringing you the excellent view you saw of this game. A lot of fun. It doesn't get any better than this. The finals in Stingray all the way up to 5A in 1 minute 24 seconds. One of these teams is going to be the champion of 3A. On second down, Davis getting the call again, surging forward for 1, maybe 2. Karr immediately spending its last timeout, and it'll be third down and about 7 yards with 1:19 left in the ball game. Karr cannot stop it again. They are out of timeouts. A lot of emotion right there in the stands, and that's Cecilia's side, anticipating a victory for the Bulldogs as they go back home following this game, and a 3-point advantage to the Bulldogs right now, 12-9, Cecilia over Karr. Big sign before the game on the Cecilia sideline that the cheerleaders make and the players run through. It said, unfinished business in the dome. That's what we've seen the Bulldogs are taking care of after falling to Karr here, after falling to Jennings here. Seems the third time is the charm for Coach James Wagasback, his entire Cecilia Bulldog team, and the community of Cecilia as well. And remember, this game was an emotional game for the team for number 15, Jedediah Jones. Number 15 on the back of each helmet of each Cecilia Bulldog. Davis again surging forward to the 45. He is well short of the first down. Clock spinning in motion, 1:10 left in the ball game. So I would assume Cecilia will punt it. Karr will get their hands on the ball one more time. With very little time remaining, Jerry Phillips dropping back along with Dwayne Lewis to try to receive this punt. Of course, Phillips always very dangerous. They're going to get the ball back with about 35 seconds remaining, and it'll be up to them to make something happen. But Cecilia may get a penalty here for delay of game, which probably wouldn't be the worst thing that could happen. They're just going to let it all run out. Clock showing 35 ticks left on it and continuing to spin. They're going to let it go as far as it will go. And they make down to the 30-second mark. Quarter number 4. That says it all right there, and now they'll turn the ball over to Karr, which will only have about 28 seconds for something to happen. Of course, this punt, depending on what happens here, and what kind of field position they'll get out of the punt. But Andy Chance, remember, he had a 45-yard boot last time down, and he's an all-district punter and place kicker. Remember the last time that Jerry Phillips returned the ball? It was a 38-yard return, and he was just one player from breaking it all the way. Phillips returning a first-quarter interception into the end zone, which was called back because of a blocking infraction. Karr coming on the punt, partially blocking the ball, and it's going to bound out of bounds, take a big Cecilia roll, and end up going out of bounds at the 36. I don't know if that block doesn't work to Cecilia's advantage, because you've got Karr in not the best field position at their own 36, but it keeps the ball out of the hands of Jerry Phillips. A 24-yard kick, which is not bad considering the block. And you knock 6 seconds off the clock as well, so yes, that was an advantage. And you can't do a lot of damage with 24 seconds. They're going to have to air it out. Has not been the forte of the Karr offense. Is not a throwing team. They only throw to set up that run at times and to keep the defense honest. So this is a team that doesn't find themselves trailing very often and don't need to throw the ball very often as well. Karr in need of heroics like they found against John Errett. Edwin Sims scrambled 18 yards for the winning score with but 20 seconds left in that ball game that came in week 5. Sims drops back to pass, tossing the ball deep downfield, wide open as a couple of Karr receivers. And did it come down? No, incomplete. 2 receivers were wide open. There was just a little too much air under the ball as it fell incomplete right around the 28-yard line. Chris Broussard, good coverage there. Well, it's highly unlikely they'll take a field goal from this position, I'll tell you that. What would that be? About a 150-yard field goal or something like that? I don't think Dempsey could kick that one. Yeah. Jerry Phillips, the intended receiver, and you can see the Karr Cougars trying to work some of these outstanding players into their offense. Split out on the right-hand side is 5 basketball players, Royal and Noel. Ellis. Sims will heave it down once again, deep down the field, jump ball around the 28. Incomplete one more time. Chris Broussard coming down with the ball. And there's 8 seconds left in the ball game. Karr will have one more shot to heave it down the field, and possibly with a completion.
If the ball would get out of bounds, the Cougars would have enough time to attempt the long field goal.
All you got is an alley-oop situation here, airing it deep, trying to get it to Noel Ellis or perhaps Phillips. And a good play, a real good play by Broussard, saves the day once again. And Bruce Broussard, once again, his athletic talents earned him all district honors as cornerback. And he's a junior. He'll be back for the 1996 season.
8 seconds left. Carr with the ball at their own 36. Sims will roll right again. Toss the ball in the flat this time. Ellis has it. And he gets out of bounds with 1 second left in the ball game. It is not over. There's 1 second left in the ball game as Ellis skedaddles out of bounds just short of the 47-yard line. First down for Carr. It was 3rd and 10. So the Cougars will have 1 chance left. They almost expected a little hook and lateral or some type of pitch out right there, but Ellis ran the ball towards the sideline and got out with 1 second left.
I was expecting Tony Nathan to come around from the Miami Dolphins and take that pitch. There's something the play that Miami Dolphins used successfully a few years back. But this is the last gasp for the Carr Cougars. And 1 second left. This is definitely the final play of the 1995 season for both of these teams.
Flag coming in. 6 Cecilia Bulldog defenders are at least 20 yards down the field. 4 of them are inside the 20, another 2 inside the 30. They only have 5 people around the ball. They're going to rush 4. They have a linebacker that's hanging around 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. Illegal procedure against Carr. That'll make the task 5 yards more daunting. It'll be back to the 42-yard line. Coach Don Watney not even looking, squatting down on the far sidelines. And Noel Ellis is the quarterback for this last play. He'll throw it for all he's worth down the sidelines. Looking for Jerry Phillips. Incomplete. Cecilia is your state champion. The AAA state championship goes to the Cecilia Bulldogs. Tried once against James, twice against Carr. The 3rd shot against the Carr Cougars is the key. Congratulations to Coach James Wagaspak. Win number 76 in his 9-year Cecilia career is the sweetest. It brings the state championship trophy for the LHSAA back home to St. Martin and to Cecilia.
What a happy bunch they are in the stands right below us. And the Green Atlantic, Cecilia Bulldogs, and you see got a good look at Coach Wagaspak right there. That team has earned this time. 12-9, playing this outstanding Carr team that was rated number 1 in the state for most of the season, if not all of it. And the Carr Cougars go home with their first loss of the season, but what an outstanding year they've had, finishing up here in the finals.
Everything you expect from number 1 against number 2. What an outstanding contest.
Not much can be said. What an emotional feel there is down on the field after a game like this. And the Carr Cougars, their faces say it all. But they have dominated the state in AAA throughout the 1995 campaign. And they've beaten everyone they've played against. They have not shied away from any competition at all. And they've really had an outstanding season. The Cecilia Bulldogs triumphant with a 12-9 victory here in the finale here at the Superdome tonight. And they have earned that victory with just outstanding play defensively. This was termed to be a defensive shootout, Gerald, and that's exactly what it was.
Well, credit Cecilia. They came in here with an excellent game plan, executed it, made the plays they had to when Carr was picking up the momentum. In the second half, Carr picked up the safety, picked up the touchdown. With 5:07 left in the 3rd quarter, it was a tie game, but back would come Cecilia, an 11-play, 50-yard drive that took 5:03 off the clock. Chance hitting a 47-yard field goal, and that was all the scoring with a quarter still to be played.
Some happiness, emotion going through this crowd, and you just can't top anything like this. Prep football. It's such a big thing down here, and I tell you, it's a happy event for the Cecilia crowd that ventured down here to the Superdome and are glad they did. A lot of smiles, a lot of happy faces, a lot of emotion. A lot has gone into the season for both of these teams, and once again, the Cecilia Bulldogs probably didn't think they'd find themselves in this position with the season
of the playing field for the presentation of awards.
Getting ready for
Please clear the center
awards down at the field, something Cecilia has waited an awful long time for. Many trips to the Dome. These fans have made and finally
and it's Louisiana agents for sponsoring tonight's state championship trophy and individual player award. Representing State Farm at midfield, State Farm agent Ab Flint of Metairie, State Farm agent Ed Buckley of New Orleans, State Farm agent Sal Bordeley of West Bank, State Farm agent Frank Alexander of LaPlace, and State Farm agent Bruce Montesano of Breaux Bridge. And now, the first award, presented by State Farm agent Sal Bordeley of the West Bank in New Orleans, goes to the runner-up Outstanding Player Award, goes to number 12, Edward Sims of Edna Karr High School.
Around this way.
The next award, presented by State Farm agent Ab Flint of Metairie, is the 1993 Class 3A State Farm runner-up championship trophy, goes to Edna Karr High School. Head coach Don Waddingley, principal John Heiser. The next award is the 1995 Baden Official Game Ball. Baden is the official ball of the LHSAA. The award is being presented tonight by Mr. Dick Schindler, Assistant Director of the National Federation of State High School Athletic Associations. Goes to Cecilia head coach Jimmy Fagersbach. The next award is the State Farm Outstanding Player to Cecilia, presented by State Farm agent Frank Alexander of LaPlace. Goes to number 11, Andrew Tank. The final award, presented by State Farm agent Bruce Montesano of Breaux Bridge, goes to the 1995 AAA State Champion Cecilia Bulldogs. Head coach Jimmy Wagersbach, principal Malcolm L.A. Louisiana High School. And all of the Louisiana State Farm agents for sponsoring all LHSAA state championship trophies and awards. The LHSAA also thanks Gatorade, title sponsor of the 1995 Gatorade Superdome Classic. The LHSAA thanks Baden, the official ball of the LHSAA. Thanks to Coca-Cola for sponsoring high school athletics, and Sports Care of Louisiana for providing trainers for all LHSAA state championship events. Good night, everyone, from the LHSAA.
Hot boudin, cold couscous. Come on, Cajuns, push, push, push. Cecilia taking their first state title by a 12-9 count. Andy Chance, a 47-yard field goal in the third quarter. That's a LHSAA dome record for the longest field goal in a AAA state championship game. Coming here tonight, that's the winning margin. Andy Chance getting the nod for the MVP here tonight.
Yeah, and I think he deserved it. He's only a sophomore. He's an all-district performer as a place kicker, and his foot was very, very important tonight with that 47-yard field goal. His punting was outstanding as well. And if you look at what they have done, Cecilia with 214 yards in total offense to 128 for the Karr Cougars. This was billed to be a defensive struggle. That's exactly what it was, a defensive game. 12-9, Cecilia Bulldogs are the crowned champions of 3A.
And, of course, Cecilia's big contribution tonight, one of them coming from Jermaine Davis, the fullback stepping up. Corey Jackson, injured arm throughout the game, in and out of the ball game. Davis picking up the slack, coming in, doing a fantastic job for his squad, keeping the ball moving. Senior quarterback leadership, and a team that's experienced and just felt like it's been here before. Finally, on the third opportunity, kicking the door down, and James Wagisback is one happy head coach tonight.
Well, yes, and they've earned this game. And as far as time of possession, the game was as close as the score. Cecilia having the ball for 27 minutes and Karr with just 20 minutes. And as far as offensive plays, Cecilia 53 offensive plays, Karr only 41. But it was close, and the score 12-9. What an exciting game. It was everything it was billed to be and more.
And then some. Credit Cecilia for taking the momentum from Karr in the third quarter and converting it into a victory. Their defense holding the Karr Cougars out of their end zone as well. Well, fantastic ball game here tonight. Congratulations to Cecilia. Their first state title coming tonight by the score of 12-9. Andy Chance, the 47-yard field goal, the game winner here from the Louisiana Superdome. 1995 for AAA is all done. I'm Gerald Duhon for Renee Nadeau. Thanks so much, and so long until next time.